What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of The Bullpen. I'm super excited about this episode because I got a real treat for you guys. This dude, I'm just going to kind of give you a little idea of who's on today. If you were to see this dude in person, you'd probably think something along the lines of Greek god, Zeus, or just God's gift to humanity. Just an attractive son of a bitch and just blessed with the athleticism and size and just a beast that we all wish we had, but we're going to pretend like we do have. My guest today, Rex, or his legal name, Jeremiah Jordan. Thanks for being on, brother.
Of course, bro.
Give you guys a little idea. Rex is actually from Atlanta, Georgia, youngest of four, big mama's boy.
Yep.
Big thing about Rex that a lot of people just, looking at him, he was a freakish athlete, still is a freakish athlete. I actually played at 7 colleges, right?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But the fact that 7 colleges wanted you, that's even better.
Right? Yeah, you can put it that way. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Dude, because you get cut from one college is one thing.
Yeah.
The fact that everyone takes one look, you're like, oh, we'll take that guy.
Yeah. That's true. That's true.
But no, you've been to 7 colleges, but you ended up at University of Utah at one of the best times University of Utah's history. Literally. Right. Probably the best football the University of Utah has ever played. You were on that team.
Yeah.
Right?
I was, yeah.
Absolute stud, and he's married to his beautiful and, as he says here, bougie wife, Tasha.
So bougie. Holy cow. We'll get there.
But she's awesome, and she's wild, man.
Yeah.
And his son, and he works currently for Alpha Influence, and it's a pleasure to have you on, man.
Oh, I appreciate it, man.
Well, listen, man, so I'm reading over this, I'm looking at this, this is things about you, right?
Right.
What made you though, right? Because if there's one thing, number one, it takes a lot of balls and dedication to become who you are, right?
Right.
You don't look the way you do without hitting the gym, without working your ass off. I know you're talking about how your mom has sacrificed a lot, to provide for you and your siblings, right? But the success you've had in your life is something that most people will never be able to say they've had. With football, with sports and college. I mean, you graduated college, and but more importantly than that, you've absolutely crushed it as an entrepreneur. Everywhere you've gone, correct me if I'm wrong, everywhere you've gone, you've been a top performer, including here. Right?
Yeah.
So that doesn't just happen. You are not just, no one's just born that way. It's literally impossible. Yeah. So what's your story? What made you?
Well, first, you make me blush. Let me stop.
Shucks.
But no, dude, yeah, man, it's just, a lot of just hard work and dedication.
Right.
Things I had to learn from a young age, things are just not given to me. I have to earn it, right? And then with that being said, I had a lot of trials and tribulation along the path, 7 colleges, you know, it didn't just happen because I wanted to, things happens, right? So you have to adjust. You got
injured how many times?
Dude, more than I can count. I tore my ACL 3 times in one knee.
Okay, wait. Okay, you're going to list off more injuries here.
Right.
But the fact that you come back after a second ACL, because when you tear one ACL, you think, I don't know if I want to play anymore.
Yeah.
You tear it a second time, you're going to think, I don't think I want to play anymore. You've torn your ACL 3 times, and what else?
ACL, MCL, PCL, herniated disc, arthritis, scoliosis, snapped my Liz Frank, which is the ligament in your foot that keeps all your bones attached. So my foot was dangling like this.
Oh.
I had many injuries with my elbow. I broke my elbow. And yeah, more than I can count. I'm pretty sure there's more, but I just can't think of it. And ultimately, that's why I'm not playing out. College was fun. The parties was great. That's where I met my wife, at a party.
Of course. Naturally, that's where her natural habitat is, right? Yeah. T, if you're watching this, we're on to you.
But, it was just awesome, just awesome experience. But at the end of the day, it just wasn't my calling. So those are the trials and tribulations that I speak of. It's just having to play, playing the sport that you love, thinking the NFL is going to be, my dream or my reality one day. Yeah. And it just wasn't, so I had to just adjust.
Okay, but here's the thing, Rex. That takes balls, dude. It takes a lot of courage to keep going. It takes a lot of discipline. It just takes an attitude of I'm not going to fucking quit, right? Because, dude, I've been injured a few times. Nothing like that though in football, right? And anyone who's played football who understands that's a lot, right? Your body's been wrecked, but you kept going. And honestly, and the thing is, like, even though your calling was there, you still are absolutely crushing it here at this company, what we're doing, and whatever you've done. You've been honestly top performer. Where does that come from though, right? Because you've been through trials and tribulations, but like, where does the balls come from? Because how many people out there go through a lot of hard times,
right?
And I know you know a lot of people. I know a lot of people who have gone through a lot of shit, and that was the one thing that made them tank the rest of their lives, right?
That's true.
Their lives are never the same.
Right.
Football's over, and so they give up on life. But you had that different mindset. So where did that come from?
Honestly, I just want to be the best, father that I can be to my son. I'm starting a family with family of two soon.
Oh, that's right. You're
of two kids, family of four.
That's
really.
right.
But,
yeah.
I didn't have that life of having both parents. I didn't have the opportunity to be able to call my dad and say, "Hey, I need something," or "Hey, can you help me? Hey, can you guide me?" I didn't have that. Yeah. So what drives me? It's a great question. What keeps me going? What keeps me wanting to compete rather and being at the top of whatever I'm doing is just so I can be the best me for my kids. So it's easier said than done. A lot of times I got shot down, and then the only thing that kept me going is saying, well, if I don't, then who will?
Right.
Like no one's going to do it for me.
Yeah.
And if I can't do it for my son, then what did I accomplish? If I can't give him what I didn't have, then I ultimately fail. Yeah.
Well, okay, so a part of who I am is because of my dad, right? So talk me through this, right? So did you ever meet your dad, or have you ever met him? Or
Yeah. So my
just
dad
wasn't there for you.
Yeah, right. So he was there, but not necessarily in the picture.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So seeing him once a year is not the same as having the luxury to see him every day.
Yeah.
If not even every day, even to call. To call him every once in a while.
Yeah.
But it's just the fact that I didn't have that. It sucks. It did suck. You could say I had like daddy issues growing up, whatever you want to say. But but at the end of the day, I just wanted to make sure that I give them what I didn't have.
Right.
I didn't grow up from money. I didn't have money and things like that. My mom, she was a single mom for a while until she remarried to my stepdad, and it was a struggle. But it seemed like in my world everything was fine. Like she was there for me for sports. She made sure I attended camps. That I played every sport that I wanted to, got me all of the gear, and that stuff isn't cheap. And then in my head, I'm thinking like, wow, I'm living the world. Like I'm living on top of everything. But in the reality down there, I reflect back, she sacrificed it all for me, and my siblings. So with that being said, I just have to do what I have to do. Because like I said, if no one else, then who will? So I just have to.
Dude, if no one else, then who will? Dude, like that mindset right there. But dude, I mean, even again, like how many people like have this shit go on, like where they, don't have a father, and so they end up being like a terrible father, right? Or they just don't even like end up taking that responsibility because they almost use it as a crutch, right? There have been so many excuses that you could have quote unquote had to not succeed. Am I wrong?
That's you're 100% right.
Right.
So, but excuses is not the option though. It's not an option. You know how many times people can make an excuse saying, well, because my father wasn't there for me, I don't know how to do it, so I'm not going to want to be able to do it. Well, you sound like a fool.
Yes.
Because who wants to be like someone that they complain about? Right. If you turn out like the person that you complain about, or that you just not seeing eye to eye with, then you ultimately failed yourself. Be better than that person. Whether it's your father, your hater, your friend, anybody in life, it's just be the best person that you can be, so then they can look up and say, wow, like, they're nothing like me. And I am proud of them, and even if they're not proud, if they hate on you, well, guess what? Your haters becomes your motivators. So,
yes, that's true. I mean, they either become your motivators or become the end of you if you let them, Yeah. So that's interesting. So you're talking about this, right? So you're talking about letting this motivate you, right? Right. And there's this kind of idea around like that I kind of want to ask you about, right? It's almost like not like getting revenge, right? But getting revenge. There's almost in my mind two ways. There's getting revenge for, and there's getting a revenge against, right? Right. And to me, it's almost revenge might not even be the right word, but it's almost just like like I'm going to get revenge for the ones I love.
Right.
I'm going to get revenge on this life. I'm going to go to war with all the shit that's happening in my life. I am going to do whatever it takes for the ones I love. Right.
Yeah.
And then there's a revenge against, where you're going against your haters. And if you ask me, I say they're both good. A lot of people don't think like take the, you know, higher route, like don't go against your haters.
Right.
I actually think if you're not fighting against something, if you don't have some enemy, then you're really not standing up for anything in your life. Right. If there's no enemy, there's no one who's hating on you, then you're kind of just in the background, in the shadows, just going along life, right?
That's so true. Yeah.
So I mean, you've probably had plenty of haters in your life.
Right.
I mean, as an athlete, as what you do, you get tons
Still
of that,
do,
right?
yeah.
So how do you handle that when you get all these haters? You're still getting them, right?
Right.
Do you kind of take the idea of like, okay, I want to take that, or you kind of like the idea of like, I take revenge almost against, like, I'm going to show you kind of thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. The way I view it is like when people hate on my lifestyle now, right? Because as you said, you know, I started off working at a car wash. Yeah. You know, I didn't have money and things like that. And then you best believe when I start to achieve the things that I set my mind to, right? It wasn't easy, but you know, when I start to achieve it and I am sitting at it as in a position that I never was in before, I am going to want to enjoy it, right? Yeah. So when people hate, it's like you hate on my accomplishments. Yes. You know? Mm-hmm. And while you hate, you know, you could easily ask me, how did I do it? You know?
And how many times do you get that, by the way? You get plenty of people asking you how you do it. Right. You get this perfect blend of people wanting to just tell you like, oh, fuck you for doing this. Like you're bullshit, you're blowing your money. And the other people saying, will you show me? Yeah. You know, like it's crazy to see this influx of DMs coming in and people wanting to reach out. Right. And this complete, like it's one way or the other. Yeah. You know? Yeah, so like that's what I'm, like it's so interesting to see these people coming in, and it's like I almost hate saying the word haters because it's so cliche, but it is like if you're not doing something of value in this world, or if you're not making waves, then you have no one coming after you. Right. Right? That's true. I mean, in football, they say it all the time. If the coach isn't getting on your ass, then you should be worried. Yeah, that's true. Right? That's really true. Because they don't care about you. Uh-huh. And in my mind, when I get these people reaching out to me because they hate me, I'm like, man, you really care a lot about me. Exactly. That's so funny because it's so true. Right. I mean, like haters, they sit down and they spectate your life. Yes. You know, they see everything, right? Yeah. They notice if like you got a new bag, you know, for your wife. Like people notice that stuff. Right. And then it's like when they spectate it so much that keeps me going. Yeah. You know, that's like, okay, well, obviously what I'm doing, whether it's having a good effect where people want to know or people want to hate, either way, it's more fuel to the fire. Yeah. You know? Right. And I just love it, dude. So and all the haters out there, if you're watching this, just ask me. Just ask me, and I would love to show you, because the thing is just like I'm never a guy that don't want to see anybody else win. I want to see everybody win. Yes, even my haters. Right. Because at the end of the day, if I'm somebody that is known for helping others achieve their dreams and goals and become financially free, then man, I'm one of the most powerful people on the planet, dude. You know, I love that. Oh my gosh, dude! If you didn't just listen to what he just said, stamp that into your soul, because that will change your life right there. But you know what's funny is like when people hate on you, right? They're watching you. So like there's a lot of people watching you, right? There's a lot of people watching what you're doing. Then some people have the humility to reach out, want to learn more, right? Right. There's people who are rooting for you and they're happy for you. Then there's the people who are watching you, but they don't want you to succeed. They almost hate that you're succeeding. They want to just reach out to you and tear you down, right? And in my mind, you don't reach out to somebody or be a hater unless you want what they have, but you're full of excuses and won't ever get it. You will not hate on anyone unless you want what they have. That is so true. Like, I mean, just like it is. You cannot hate someone. Like, honestly, I see people and they have all this stuff, and I'm like, good for you. I don't even want that, you know. Like, good for you, you know. But like, if I see, I see this in myself. If I see someone that has something that I don't, I get competitive. Yeah. Right. I want it. Yeah. But they have it. I'm a little competitive, right? But there's a difference. I'm not going to go out and hate on them. I'm just gonna be like, all right, I'm competing against that dude now, right? But I can almost feel like in myself where that comes from. Someone sees you and they see what you have and they want it, but unlike you, where you literally gave yourself no way out, no excuses, and got where you are, they're giving themselves all the excuses in the world to say, oh, I'll never get that, and so you must be doing something wrong in order for you to have that. Right. Exactly. That's the first thought. I mean, you'd be shocked how many people say, well, like,
what are you selling? Like, what kind of drugs you doing? What kind of drugs you selling? I'm just like, dude, like, do you really think that I am where I am at?
That?
Seriously.
Oh my God.
Seriously, dude. Like, people will ask me, like, I got to be doing some type of scam. Like, how's my scam working? Like to get this type of like cash flow and volume. Like, dude, like, there's no scam. There's no drugs.
Yeah.
It is just something that you can do and build on and be an entrepreneur yourself if you really want to. It's just that simple. And people don't realize when being a business owner, it doesn't take much, but just you trying. Everyone, you know, they're scared of the concept of being like an entrepreneur. And they don't understand you can be an entrepreneur by what we help others do, having a passive stream of income. You know, you're an entrepreneur that just having your money and everything else work for you. You know, you don't have to put much into it, but everyone thinks like, oh, it's so scary, I can't do it. Well, you can't do anything you don't put your mind to.
Dude, I mean, everything we're doing, I actually believe this. And some people would disagree with me on this. I believe anyone, anywhere could make a lot of money. I don't care who you are. I don't care what deformities you have with your body. I don't care, you know, if you have a speech impediment. I don't care if you know, are like introverted. So you're like, you know, very socially awkward. I don't care where you came from, what part of the world, anything about you. I believe that money is the most, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, it doesn't care who you are.
Right. It doesn't.
Right?
It doesn't.
And this is something I think I truly, from the bottom of my heart, believe this. Anyone, anywhere could make a lot of money if they just gave themselves no way out and no excuse and just kept at it.
I agree.
The things we're doing, let's be honest, it's not that special. Anyone could do it.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, like, I want to feel like I'm special, but I'm not, right? I'm not. There's nothing special about what we're doing.
Right.
It is so normal. I look at it, I'm like, man, this is not that hard, you know? You just kind of got to do it. The hardest thing about it was getting out of my own fucking head.
Yeah.
That was the hardest thing about it and still is, right?
Yeah.
I mean, as I'm expanding the company, I'm investing into other businesses. The only thing that holds me back is my own mentality.
Exactly.
My own mindset. There was nothing special about doing what we do, about having success, about, you know, building a business. A good friend of mine, Nick, I mean, he has, you know, no arms, no legs, and he is one of the most sought after speakers all around the world, right?
Yeah.
Don't you think he has every excuse not to succeed?
Right. Yeah. Right.
I mean, literally.
That's what people could assume and think like, wow, like how did he do it?
Right.
Well, because he put his mind towards it.
Yes.
And he made it happen.
He made it.
And the thing is, and just like you said, like, people can easily say, well, you know, he just did it because he had more attention drawn to him, blah, blah, blah. Well, that's just a bunch of bullshit.
It's bullshit. Right? No,
you know what I'm saying? Because
yeah.
the thing is, he legitimately put himself in a position where he can shake those hands.
Yes.
You know, again, there's a saying that a friend of mine, Dallin Peely, the one that actually got me involved with this.
Shout out Dallin. We love you, bro.
But one thing that he said that I think he got from Ed Milet, rather, is the more hands you shake, the more money you make.
Damn straight.
You know?
Yeah.
And with that just being said, he put himself in position again to shake those hands.
Yes.
And now he's able to accomplish and legit just have the overflow of all of his achievements just come to light.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Because he did that. You know, and networking is key. You know, networking is key.
Oh, dude. I mean, your network is your net worth.
It is.
And dude, okay. Everyone listening to this right now, if you just immediately went in like your eyes were on the back of your head because you heard it for the 1,000th time, your network is equal to your net worth. Yeah. I'm going to tell you something right here, right now. If you like your network is a lot like a thermostat, right? Like outside right now, it's like 80 something degrees, but in here it's 72 degrees. Why? Because that thermostat regulates the temperature, right? So if it goes to 40 degrees, so it's super fucking cold, that thermostat regulates the temperature in here. That is your mentality, right? That's the same thing as your mentality. Your mentality regulates the temperature of your life. It regulates how you succeed, right? Yeah. So meaning if you're having a lot of success in your life, your mentality will pull you down. Yeah. Right? It will pull you down. It will pull you from the heat and bring you back to the temperature that you're set to, that you're used to. And when it's cold, it will rise you back up to it, right? So here's the natural thing about your network is equal to your net worth. When you surround yourself with badass motherfuckers, people who are doing it, your natural temperature, your natural set aptitude is raised. Right. So now, even if it's cold, you're naturally going to set the temperature up to 80 because you've been raised up to 80, right?
Yeah, that's so
and maybe
true.
100. But guess what? if what you're doing surpasses you and it's 120 degrees, your temperature, because you're not that kind of person, will regulate it right on back and pull yourself back. You will never out earn who you are, and who you are is determined by who you surround yourself with.
So true.
Right?
That's so true.
I mean, I'm surrounding myself with you. You're a badass motherfucker. I mean, Dallin Peely, like a shout out to, because he's one of the hardest working dudes I've ever met.
He is.
You know, everyone in this alpha group is so hard working. I love surrounding myself with you guys because that's what it's all about.
Right.
We have a lot more fun, by the way.
Exactly.
Right. We have a lot of fun, but we earn and we hold each other accountable.
Right.
Not necessarily because I have to like sit here and say like, Rex, why aren't you performing?
Right.
Actually, just naturally because we all expect that of each other.
That's so true.
If we were to walk in and we're not succeeding at the level, we just expect better because we believe in each other.
Right.
Like I believe in you more than anybody else, right?
Right.
And I expect you to be at this temperature because I know that's who you are.
Right.
And that's the kind of thing with your network. And the second I surround myself with guys like Ed Milet, Bradley, Andy Frisilla, they're having conversations about $100 million and 200 and $1 billion.
Right.
And I'm sitting here thinking, oh, that's a lot different than having a conversation about how do I make six figures?
Yeah.
Right. And so all of a sudden my temperature is raised, my aptitude's raised, and I'm like, wow, just by being in their presence.
Yeah.
Right? Just by being in their presence has already raised my mental aptitude of what I can earn.
Yeah, so true.
Right? And people look at this and like they look at you, right? And they look at Dallin, they look at all of our team, and they look at what we're buying.
Right.
Right? Because that's kind of the stuff that people pay attention to. They don't see all the back end work, right?
That's true.
They just see
so
the
true.
Fendi shoes
Exactly
and
right.
the what are you wearing now? Balenciagas. So they just see that.
Yeah.
But they think what people do is they immediately associate the things with the person. So they go, oh, dude, I want to be this guy. And so they think if I buy these things, I'll be that guy. Wrong.
Right. So wrong.
You have to become that guy to be worthy of those things because this kind of guy gets those kind of things. He's the one flying the private jet. He's the one, driving the nice cars. He's the one who has the freedom for his family because he became that dude first.
That's so true.
And now he can earn that.
Yeah.
Right?
I totally agree. Because the point is just that, just the more streams of income you have, then the better that you're off. So when people think like, oh, I have to do exactly what Rex is doing, just do part of that and do something else.
Yes.
And the thing is, it's just like people don't understand with financial literacy, just like how much you can achieve by just knowing the right things to go about it, right? And the thing is, I always tell people, just look it up. Yeah. You, for example, I remember you told me this all the time, right? How you're in class, right? A business teacher is trying to teach you about business who don't even have a fucking business.
No. Yes.
And then in that class, you order a program or a class on YouTube. Actually, it was free.
It was free. So YouTube. I looked up on YouTube.
It was free. Yeah. You went on YouTube and watch a free class.
Yeah.
That taught you so much more than that teacher was giving you.
It was way more entertaining too.
Yeah, exactly. So with that being said, when people think like, oh, like, I don't have the right funds to really get like the mentors and things like that, just look it up. Just look it up and learn how to make money. You can't just do it by doing exactly what I'm doing. You can't just get to the top by just asking me. Yeah. You have to actually go through the same steps that I went through, or maybe even more, because as the day goes, the path just gets more challenging.
Dude, you know what you just said? This is so important because I know a lot of people who are smart as shit when it comes to business. Right. I mean, like they know every in and out of the tax code. They know every in and out of how to leverage, and the arbitrage and, how to scale and methods and they know it all.
Yeah. But
they don't earn that much. As a matter of fact, they still work a job. So they're really good learners, right? But they're terrible implementers. This is like everything we know you could probably find on YouTube. You could Google it, right? Yeah, I talked to a guy. His name's Alex Hermosi, and he's already done $100 million in sales. And this was the funniest thing ever because I asked him like, dude, how'd you do it? He goes, I Googled it. He's straight up. He goes, I Googled how to run a Facebook ad. He said, I Googled how to set up a funnel, how to do this, and I Googled it, and then I just implemented it. I'm like, the fact that you just said that, do you know how many people are watching YouTube videos every single day, learning, buying courses, going out and getting mentors? And I'm sitting in these things and I'm seeing these guys talking, these $100 million people, $700 million net worth people talking about what to do, and how many people actually implement it, right? Actually take action on what was said. Yeah. That's the biggest difference. The fact there's so much information out there for free. I don't care if you know it. It doesn't matter if you don't do shit about it.
So true.
Right?
That's so true,
You
man.
can Google it, man.
So true.
But guess what? You're probably not even going to want to scroll to the page number 20 on Google
Right.
and read another article.
Exactly.
Because you're too fucking lazy. But then if you say you are, good enough to go, or, disciplined enough to go look at it and go, research it and learn it, well, now go implement it.
Exactly.
Now have the balls to actually go put your money where your mouth is.
Put it into action.
And put it into action, exactly. Yeah. And if you're not willing to do that, you could be the smartest whip on the planet and still be the poorest whip on the planet.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But that's so true. That's so true. And, gratefully, I got all that information for free from you. So, it's just the fact by just putting your foot in the door, knowing the right people. Like I said, I got my foot in the door by investing first. Becoming a client,
right?
And then I was blessed to, join the team,
right? And
then being under here, with Alpha Influence under your belt, I've learned so much shit, dude. Like, I own rental properties now. I have nice cars.
Yeah, you do.
I'm learning how to, even just bless my other family members and teach them things that they didn't know.
Yeah.
Right. And then it's just a matter of us just again put it into action. You learn these things. But if you just sit on your ass and don't really apply it, I didn't know shit about real estate.
Yeah.
Until you and Dallin and Cole would sit down and talk, and I'm like, oh, really? That's what it is?
Right.
That's how you can get a loan for for a house?
Yeah.
I didn't know anything about how you don't have to put 20% down. You can put down just 3.5.
Yep.
And the thing is, people don't realize that.
Right.
And then after you do learn it, apply it.
Right. Dude, well, here's something funny. How many other people were sitting in the same meetings you were in?
Honestly, a lot.
A lot.
Yeah.
And guess what? A lot of them are not where you're at.
Right.
Why? They heard the exact same information. They heard the exact same tactics. And why are they not where you're at? Because they didn't take the kind of massive action that you took.
Exactly.
It's one thing to hear it. It's another thing to implement it.
Exactly.
Right?
That's so true.
And I mean, people know enough to make a lot of money. That's what I mean. This anybody, dude. I don't care where you are.
Yeah.
YouTube, dude. In most parts of the world, it's more common for them to have a smartphone with internet than it is for them to have running water. There are more smartphones in the world for people. There's more accessible to the internet and smartphones than there is running water.
I didn't know that.
So you can, in most places, you can learn and Google and research and implement all you want, no matter where you're at, because the rate of information today and the day we live in, there's no reason for you not to know.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And I totally agree.
There's no reason for you not to know.
No reason. Yeah. And then the thing is, it's just we live in a day and age where social media is the realm of everything.
Yes.
If you don't have a Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, whatever, right? Then you're out of the loop. Yeah. So with that being said, you're saying that everyone pretty much in this world, probably 1 out of 5 people probably have a smartphone, right?
Yep. More than that, by the way.
Then there's just no excuse.
No, dude, that's what I'm saying. If you're, I've heard this. If your smartphone ain't making you smart, then you got a dumb phone or something like that. Maybe I'm misquoting that. But dude, listen, man. What you've accomplished, what you've done. Obviously, with your career in football and everything, it goes to show the kind of. Balls, courage, whatever you want to call it, that you have to actually go out there and do it because it's scary.
Yeah.
It's scary as shit.
It is.
Right? And I was just talking about this morning of how pressure and the pressure that you feel every single day is a privilege. Only leaders feel pressure. People who have placed themselves into a position to make a difference in someone else's lives. That means being a father. Yeah. That means being a mother. That means being a business owner or a manager, or that means being someone who other people look up to. Just some form of leadership. There is pressure in leadership. So if you wake up every day with pressure, it's good. It means you put yourself in the position to be a father, mother, business owner, or something along those lines. Right.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And I totally agree. It's just the fact that if you don't hold yourself or you hold your standards high, then you failed yourself. Yeah. If you want to just be mediocre and just get by, day by day, then you're not going to get anywhere. Right. Yeah. So by me just holding my standards high to make sure that I can provide for my family. Again, just make sure, like I said, I didn't come from money, but you damn well are going to know my kids are. Right. My kids are going to come from money.
Going to be studs, yeah.
Yeah. So the thing is, they're not going to be some spoiled brats. However, I don't know. It's kind of spoiled bratty already, but the point is though, is that they are going to have the things that I didn't have in life.
Yeah.
Because again, those are my standards, is to give them everything I didn't have.
So listen, anyone listen to this, okay? You didn't come from a whole lot, right? It was like what you had to go through to get where you're at now, right?
Right.
First thing I want to ask you, if you were to talk to anyone, whether they're, like in a shitty, part of the country where there's honestly surrounded like in a really bad place, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of places in this country where you're surrounded by a lot of really negative people, and not even negative, a lot of poverty, right?
Right.
If someone were to come up to you and be like, Rex, what do I need to do? What would be the first thing you tell them?
First thing I'll tell them is just to have a goal, envision it, and write down what they need to do to achieve it. You don't need a phone. You don't need money for that.
Yeah.
You don't need this and that. All you need is just a paper and a pencil.
Yeah.
And write down all of your goals physically, and then set your standards high and achieve it. The thing about it is just like you can't really achieve anything without setting a goal.
No.
No. You can't envision anything without creating the vision.
Yep. Oh, amen.
So you have to picture it, and then as you told me, like when we were at our retreat in that beautiful house,
you just
that you have to have your mind space up here, right?
Your mind palace.
Your mind palace, it's the most important key to anything, because if you cannot see yourself in it, then you will never be in it. If you can't see yourself going through it, you will never achieve it.
Ever.
And I really like, and that stuck home with me, honestly. And that's just be like my word of advice, just to anyone. See it, believe it, achieve it.
I love that. And let me add on to that, because what you just said, now do a test and tell that to your friends and family, the people you surround yourself with. And if they don't support it, get out. Seriously, because what we're talking about, network is your net worth.
Right.
If you were talking to me about your dreams, right, I'd be like, yeah, dude, I see that too. Like, I can see you in it, right? I'm seeing you in that car, I see you in that house. Like, I'm sitting there like, and that's how that friend group is here in Alpha Influence, and just when you surround yourself with those people. So true. But you and me both know that if you have those kind of dreams, you tell them to people who, maybe they're friends and family from where you grew up, right? Or whatever it is, right? And you tell them those dreams, and they start telling you, nah, come on, that's not realistic. No, dude, no. Like, who do you think you are? That kind of thing. I'm going to just add everything you said. But if you just test it, because once you have it written down, once you have that vision, test your network and tell them your dreams. And it probably will be wasted on them, because once you find out that they don't support it, or they're not going to support you, or they don't believe in you, get out.
I agree.
Change your scenario. Move.
Yeah.
Seriously, move. Get out.
Yeah.
Move to some other location. That is probably one of the best things you could ever do, is to move from where you were. Like, just because that's where you grew up does not mean you have to stay there.
I agree.
Right?
I agree.
Just because that's where you grew up does not mean you have to be there. There's no obligation for you to be there. Go somewhere else, and then you can come back later and make a difference.
Amen.
If you want to change your community, well, if your community doesn't support you, if your community is negative, or there's a lot of shit happening, get out.
Yeah.
Move somewhere around a group of people who will support you, will inspire you, and just watch how fast your life will change. Watch how those dreams will start to become a reality. And now that it's become a reality, then you can go back.
100% agree.
Yeah. Get out.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you experienced that at all, but because you moved here, you're from Atlanta, right?
And guess what? I don't ever plan to go back.
Really?
I don't mind going back to visit my family and see, of course, but I would never move and live in Atlanta. Just because the fact that, for one, I don't like to be comfortable. If I'm still in the same place, the same community that I once were, then, I'm not really just getting out of my comfort zone. I'm not really accomplishing anything.
Yep.
So, in the fact that in my community, I went to a school where it was really rough. We had police officers in every hallway.
You did? Oh, wow.
Yeah. Kids died there. It's very sad.
Shit.
It's very sad. Yeah. It was that type of community that I was in, right? And I told myself, like, I don't ever want to stay here. So then the first thing, I couldn't wait till I graduated high school and go to college.
Yeah.
That was my first escape.
To get out.
To get out and go to college.
Oh, yeah.
And then now that I accomplished everything that I accomplished, I would never go back and stay there. However, I do plan on going back and doing a fundraiser or any type of workshop that I can teach the kids the things that I never thought or even dreamed of learning.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't know anything again about financial literacy.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't know anything about that.
Yeah.
You know, like that's something that's never ever taught in my household, in schools or anything.
It's not gonna be taught in school for sure. Yeah,
so
damn straight.
I want to go back and teach these kids, hey, like, forget like trying to sell weed. Forget trying to, you know, sell drugs or do this and that and this. You know, sell a high ticket item that can make you a ton of money.
You know, I said that on the on Dropping Bombs podcast with Brad Lee.
Yeah.
I 1000%. The skill set of sales.
Yeah.
Dude, like, and honestly, I mean, we're talking about like in neighborhood, like in the ghetto or like where you grew up or like, you know, if it's shitty, right? What do kids do when they have no escape? A lot of them turn to drugs and selling drugs, right?
That is true. Yeah.
A lot of them turn to drugs, gangs, or whatever, and they start doing that.
Yeah.
Why? Because they don't know anything else, right?
Yeah.
That's just what they do.
Right.
And I just wish they knew, hey, just replace the product.
Yeah.
Go sell. You actually have the right idea. Go sell, and yes, go join a community.
Right.
Just not that group of people, that gang, that community,
Right.
and just not that product.
Right, exactly.
Look how much different your life would change if you just changed those two things.
Yeah, I totally agree. And the thing is just that they have to be showed how. And that's why I want to go back and show them how. Because you got to think about it. In there, no one can show them there because, like you said, that's all you know.
That's all you know.
That's all you know.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, since I, you know, was able to network and get out and learn, again, things that I never even thought I could even know or never even dreamed of knowing. You know, I didn't care about knowing about, you know, finances or real estate. I didn't care about that.
Right.
Until I surrounded myself about people who did.
Right.
You know?
Until you saw what it could do,
Exactly.
right?
And now I want to go back and just give back to them because the thing is just like, you know, it starts with one.
Yeah.
You know, it's not going to be easy or something that could just change overnight. I know that. I understand that. But, you know, if I can make a difference, then that's all that matters. You know, it's about what can I do? Not about what everyone else can do. What can I do? And I want to go back and just show them that, hey, like there's a better way, you know, that you can sell something at a high ticket item and make a lot more money than selling that little dope that you're trying to.
Yeah.
You know,
dude,
like,
seriously.
and the profits and everything is not only is it legal, but it's so lucrative.
Right.
You know, it's just like you benefit from it. Like it's crazy. But, you know, again, it's something that just has to be taught, shared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I do. I mean, dude, I love everything you say. I love it because like I believe that I believe it's not politicians and it's not, you know, I hate to say it, but professors that are going to change the world as entrepreneurs.
Right.
You look at the things that have changed the world the most, it came from entrepreneurs.
I agree.
And entrepreneurs change the world because entrepreneurs have the courage to be weird enough to go and do something that everyone else said was crazy.
Right.
And because they had the courage to do that, when everyone said it was crazy, they did it, changed the world, and now everyone celebrates him as a hero.
Yeah.
Every hero starts out weird and crazy.
So true.
Every
so
hero
true.
will always start out weird, crazy, and no one will believe in you until they do. Until it actually works out, and now you're the hero.
True.
It's impossible to be a hero without an enemy, for one.
Yeah.
Right?
So
That's
true.
kind of a lame ass story if there's no enemy to fight and you're the hero. Right? No one's going to buy that book or watch that movie. That's fucking bullshit.
Yeah,
right? It doesn't happen, right? And the hero to everyone's tale is the one who has the courage to go make it happen.
Yeah.
And dude, just for you and what you've been able to do, what you've been accomplished, you exemplify that courage, right? Yeah. What you've been able to accomplish and just the way you pushed forward, what's led you here, dude, it was fucking meant to be.
Oh yeah. I agree.
It was meant to be, man.
I agree, man.
It was meant to be.
Not only is, you know, are we Jeremiah's, but but just the fact that, you know, it's just that, you know, everything is just, you know, can work itself out if you let it be.
Yep.
You know, like me, I didn't want to force anything. You know, I didn't want to make sure that, I had to do this way,
right?
So I can get this result. Because if you're so narrow-minded and you only see one way, then you're not gonna see everything else that's surrounding you. You know, like if I only see ahead, I can't see what's going on here or going on there to say, oh, well, that way's better. You know, like, because I know, like, some people can have their own opinion, like, oh, just have a straight, you know, mind and just go for it. Yeah. But the thing is, if you have that, the person that's next to you is trying to tell you an easier way, but you rather go the hardest route to get there. So honestly, all that to say, just like I just make sure that I had to just, you know, stay the course, believe in it, trust in God, and everything else will just pan itself out.
Dude, amen. The most dangerous information is the information you don't know.
Exactly.
And until you know it, you're in a shithole until you know it. So go
yeah.
know it, right? Well, brother, thank you so much for coming on today, man.
course.
It was awesome to have you on. It's awesome talking to you as always. And everyone, by the way, if you're not following this dude on Instagram, go follow him. What's your Instagram tag?
Yeah, so it's Rex Jordan, REXX Jordan, JORDAN.
2X, not 3X. Rex Jordan, go follow him on Instagram. This dude's one hell of a stud, and you can learn a lot from this guy. There's big things in your future, bro, and I'm excited to be a part of it. So,
Well, I'm happy that I'm here. I'm happy that you blessed me with the opportunity to be here, man. So, I just love it. Hopefully, I can teach others just like you're teaching me.
I know you will, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks for coming on, man.
Of course.
Appreciate you.